Ever wonder why every criminal in Texas seemed to fear a silver pickup truck more than a jail cell? It wasn't just a vehicle, it was a moving symbol of justice. A 1995 Dodge Ram 1500 that roared louder than the law itself. On screen, it crushed walls, leapt off bridges, and stared down villains who never stood a chance. Yet beneath the steel and dust hid a truth stranger than fiction. Why did the producers choose the lightest, least powerful version of Dodge's lineup for TV's toughest lawman? Why did that silver and gray beast keep changing shape? One moment a beauty truck, the next a battered stunt double. And how did one license plate, AU9075, become so famous that fans still chase replicas 3 decades later? This wasn't just a TV truck. It was a legend born of product deals, physics-defying stunts, and one very patient stunt crew. So buckle up, because in this video, we're diving into 20 shocking facts behind Walker's indestructible Ram, the truck that turned Texas justice into a four-wheeled myth. Number 20, the 1500 paradox. Walker Texas Ranger wasn't just about roundhouse kicks, it was about power on 4 wheels. But here's the paradox. The production didn't pick the heavy-duty Ram 2500 or 3500 for Walker's truck. They chose the lightest version, the Ram 1500 Club Cab 4x4. Why? Because Hollywood physics are a little different from real physics. The 1500 was lighter, easier to throw over ramps, safer for stunt drivers when things went wrong. And trust me, they often did. A 2500 landing from a 10-foot jump would have shattered spines and budgets. The 1500 absorbed punishment while keeping its human cargo alive. It wasn't the toughest truck Dodge made, just the most camera-friendly. Its balance, stance, and weight made it perfect for those high-flying chase scenes. Not too big, not too small, just the right size to make Chuck Norris look unstoppable. It might have been half-ton, but on screen, it looked like it weighed a ton of justice. Number 19, the silver gray legend. Every hero has a costume. For Walker, it was that unmistakable silver over gray armor gleaming under the Texas sun. That color combo wasn't random. It was a calculated choice by Dodge and the show's producers. Silver trucks photographed better under harsh TV lighting, especially during night scenes, while the gray lower section gave the illusion of lower stance and speed. Soon, the Walker truck became a dealership code. Walk into a Dodge showroom in 1996 and ask for the Walker Edition. They knew exactly what you meant. Fans brought in VHS tapes, pausing the show to match the paint scheme. Dealers loved it because silver and gray were cheap paints, but thanks to Walker, they became pure gold. At one point, Dodge even considered an official Walker Texas Ranger edition. Legal issues killed the idea, but for a few shining years, 1 out of every 3 Rams in Texas wore that same two-tone suit of armor, a rolling salute to the man who made justice look cool. Number 18, the Viper swap. When Walker, Texas Ranger, Trial by Fire aired in 2005, 4 years after the series ended, fans expected a nostalgic return. Instead, they got a monster. Walker's trusty half-ton pickup was gone, replaced by a 500-horsepower Ram SRT-10 with the heart of a Dodge Viper, an 8.3-liter V10 under the hood, 525 lb-ft of torque, and a price tag that could buy 2 regular Rams. It was pure insanity and pure marketing. But here's the kicker. Chuck Norris never actually drove it. At 65 years old, even he admitted the SRT-10 was too wild. The truck had brutal acceleration and almost no rear weight, a recipe for spinouts. So, every scene behind the wheel was done by stunt drivers, even parking shots. The movie made it look like Walker had traded in his badge for a rocket launcher, but behind the scenes, it was all illusion. The SRT-10 wasn't just fast, it was uncontrollable. On screen, it symbolized Walker's evolution. Off screen, it was a reminder that even legends know when to let someone else take the wheel. Number 17, dashboard time travel. Car fans notice everything, and Walker Texas Ranger gave them plenty to obsess over. One of the strangest mysteries? The dashboard. Early seasons featured the 1995 Ram interior, squared-off gauges, no airbags, simple design. But by later seasons, sharp-eyed fans spotted the newer 1998 dashboard, rounded dials, different vents, even the OBD2 port visible under the steering column. So how did a 95 truck suddenly gain features from the future? Simple. There wasn't one Walker Ram, there were several. The production mixed trucks from different model years. 95s for exteriors, 98s for interiors, sometimes within the same scene. Watch closely, and you'll see the steering wheel change mid-shot, or an airbag warning label appear out of nowhere. Back then, the producers didn't worry much. It was the 90s. No HD, no pause button. But when DVDs and YouTube arrived, the continuity errors turned into Easter eggs. Today, fans still debate which dashboard was the real Walker Ram, proving that sometimes the smallest details outlive the show itself. Number 16. The Texas plates that were real. Most TV productions use fake plates to avoid legal headaches. Walker Texas Ranger? Not a chance. Walker's Silver Ram proudly wore real Texas plates, AU9075, for the entire series. Every truck that appeared carried that same number, year after year, crash after crash. The production didn't just want realism, they wanted legitimacy. The registration was real too, but in a clever, tax-saving way. Each truck was registered to a Dallas-based shell company created solely for the show. This allowed them to qualify for state filming incentives, which required vehicles to be legally registered in Texas. But that also meant someone's full-time job was keeping Walker's truck street legal, updating inspections, paying insurance, and renewing plates for vehicles that spent half their time flying through explosions. It was a logistical nightmare, but also a badge of authenticity. While other shows faked everything, Walker Texas Ranger made even its license plate a piece of Texas truth. Ironically, the real AU9075 plate vanished after the show ended. Some say it's hanging in a fan's garage, a relic of a legend that refused to die. Number 15. The Case of the Disappearing Steps. For years, viewers wondered why Walker's Ram seemed to change its look between scenes. One moment, it had chrome running boards shining like mirrors. The next, they were matte black, or gone completely. The mystery wasn't sloppy editing, but a peek into the show's mechanical choreography. The beauty truck, used for close-ups, had gleaming chrome steps and pristine polish. The stunt truck ditched them entirely, fewer parts to snap off during jumps. And the backup truck wore black plastic replacements, easy to swap when damaged. You can actually tell which truck is on screen by the steps. Chrome means dialogue, black means filler shots, no steps means something's about to explode. In one chase scene, Walker's truck starts with chrome steps, loses them mid-jump, and lands with black ones. Magic? No, just 3 trucks filmed on 3 different days. It's Hollywood continuity chaos turned into a hidden code for fans. Once you notice it, you'll never unsee it. Number 14. The Moper Law. In Walker's world, even morality followed a brand rule. The good guys drove Mopar, Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler. The villains, always Ford, GM, or Lincoln. Every time a Silverado or Suburban appeared on screen, you could bet someone inside was about to get roundhouse kicked. This wasn't coincidence. It was written in Chrysler's product placement contract. Heroes drive Mopars, villains don't. That line was as strict as the show's moral code. When a script once featured Walker driving a confiscated Camaro, Chrysler's marketing department rejected it outright. The Camaro became a Ram by the next draft. The symbolism was almost biblical. The righteous rode Dodge, the wicked rode Ford. Viewers didn't realize it consciously, but the message sank in. Walker's truck wasn't just transportation, it was a rolling sermon on brand loyalty and virtue. It turned product placement into pop mythology. Every chase became a moral statement on 4 wheels. Number 13. Chuck sold you the same truck. During commercial breaks, something uncanny happened. You'd watch Walker chasing criminals in his Ram, then cut to a Dodge commercial starring Chuck Norris himself, selling you the same truck he just drove on screen. It was marketing inception at its finest. The spots weren't random, they were planned to air specifically during Walker Texas Ranger. Sometimes Chuck even stood beside the same hero truck used in the episode, saying, "When Texas Rangers need dependable transportation." Chrysler was paying twice, once for product placement in the show and again for the commercials. But it worked. Sales data showed a Monday spike in Ram purchases after Saturday night episodes. Dealers started looping Walker episodes in their showrooms, knowing the connection was instant. By merging fiction and reality, Dodge turned a TV prop into a sales weapon. Walker wasn't just enforcing Texas law, he was enforcing brand dominance. Number 12. The Twister Connection. In 1996, something strange happened in pop culture. Two unstoppable forces hit America at once. The movie Twister and Walker Texas Ranger both featured the exact same truck, a Dodge Ram 1500, silver and unbreakable. One chased tornadoes, the other chased criminals, and suddenly the Ram was everywhere. TV, movie screens, billboards, even cereal commercials. It wasn't planned. Dodge had just redesigned the Ram in 1994 with its big rig look, a front end that screamed confidence. Hollywood couldn't resist. Every production wanted one, but Walker gave it personality. Twister showed its strength. Walker gave it soul. Dealerships capitalized on it immediately. Some showrooms displayed cardboard cutouts of Chuck Norris next to Twister posters with slogans like "Chase Storms" or "Chase Justice." Either way, drive a Ram. Sales exploded. Between 1995 and 1997, Dodge's truck market share nearly doubled. Walker and Bill Paxton, two very different heroes, unknowingly became partners in the same marketing miracle. Number 11. The Hummer Duel. Season 8, Episode Rampage. It was supposed to be just another chase, until Walker's Ram took on a full military Hummer H1, and won. On paper, it made no sense. The Hummer had armor plating, portal axles, and 37-inch tires. The Ram? A half-ton civilian pickup. Yet somehow, the Hummer got stuck in sand while the Ram soared past it, literally catching air 6 times. Behind the scenes, the stunt team tried to justify the impossible. They slowed the Hummer's run, sped up the Ram's footage, and adjusted camera angles to make the Dodge look faster. The result was pure movie magic, but what really makes the scene legendary is what came after. Fans on truck forums went wild. Military veterans, mechanics, and engineers debated for years whether such a stunt could ever happen. The answer was no, but in Walker's world, physics had the day off. The scene wasn't about realism, it was about identity. The Ram didn't just beat the Hummer, it beat the odds, the rules, and even gravity itself. Number 10. The Solid Axle Savior. Every stunt driver who ever sat behind the wheel of Walker's Ram will tell you the same thing. The truck shouldn't have survived half of what they did to it. What saved it wasn't luck. It was engineering. The 1994-2001 Ram 1500 still used a solid front axle, a heavy, old-school design most manufacturers had already abandoned for smoother, independent suspension. For everyday comfort, it was outdated. For Hollywood mayhem, it was perfect. A solid axle could take massive impacts, landings, wall hits, bridge jumps, without snapping like the newer systems. One big forged steel bar connected both front wheels, meaning fewer moving parts and less chance of catastrophic failure. The stunt coordinators loved it because it was predictable in the air. Independent suspension could twist mid-jump. The Ram stayed straight like a bullet. In short, the Ram's old-fashioned design became its greatest strength. It was 1950s engineering saving 1990s television, proof that sometimes the obsolete is exactly what heroes need to stay alive. Number 9. The Engine That Lied. Listen carefully to Walker's Ram during a chase. You'll hear a thunderous growl, the kind that makes you think there's a monster under the hood. But that sound, a lie. The real trucks used Dodge's Magnum V8s, either 5.2L or 5.9L, solid engines sure, but far from supercar material. They produced about 230-245 horsepower, respectable, not terrifying. The show's sound editors didn't care. They mixed in roars from big block muscle cars, and even, in one episode, a Ford engine clip. The result, a truck that sounded like a beast from another dimension. Sometimes the audio didn't even match the RPMs. The Ram would idle calmly on screen while screaming like a NASCAR car in the background. It was pure auditory illusion, and it worked. Fans swore Walker's truck had insane horsepower. Years later, mechanics confirmed the truth. It was the same engine you could find in your neighbor's pickup, but paired with Chuck Norris's stare, it somehow sounded unstoppable. Number 8. The ever-changing push bar. The push bar, that intimidating steel guard mounted to the front of Walker's Ram, became a symbol of the show's rough-and-ready attitude. But eagle-eyed fans noticed something strange. It never stayed the same. In one scene, the bar had 4 rectangular fog lights. In the next, 2 round ones. Then, none at all. Even the color shifted between black, chrome, and something in between. Behind the scenes, there was a method to the madness. The production had three primary trucks: the beauty truck for close-ups, the stunt truck for crashes, and the backup truck for filler shots. Each had a slightly different push bar, depending on what had survived the last shoot. The stunt truck's bar was welded directly to the frame for safety. You can spot the burn marks in some episodes, while the beauty truck had a cleaner, removable setup. For long-distance shots, they sometimes used a wooden mock-up painted black. Yes, a wooden push bar. To most viewers, it was invisible, but to car enthusiasts, it became part of the fun, a secret continuity game hidden in plain sight. Every episode was a new puzzle of chrome, dents, and missing bolts. Number 7, the roof lights that came and went. Those 4 iconic off-road lights on the roll bar looked awesome until you realized they were possessed. They'd vanish between shots, change shape mid-chase, or reappear after being ripped off in a crash. In one episode, you can literally see them fly off during a jump, only to return perfectly mounted seconds later. The reason was simple physics. The lights added high-mounted weight, which raised the truck's center of gravity, a nightmare during stunts. The beauty truck always had them for the look. The stunt truck removed them for survival, but editing jumped between the two so often that continuity fell apart. Each light cost about $300, and the crew went through several sets per episode. They even joked that the real hero wasn't Chuck Norris. It was the prop guy who kept bolting those things back on. Today, collectors of KC Daylighter lights still refer to that model as the Walker set, proof that even accessories can become legends. Number 6, the silent upgrade. Somewhere around Season 5, something subtle yet shocking happened. Walker's 1995 Ram quietly became a newer model, a 1998, or even a 1999, and nobody said a word. The badging stayed the same, the color identical, but the details told another story. The mirrors were sleeker, the headlights clearer, the antenna moved from the fender to the roof, and the tailgate now shouted "Ram" in bold letters. The reason was practical. The older trucks were falling apart. Years of jumps, crashes, and Texas dust had taken their toll. Chrysler stepped in with a deal, new Rams for the same partnership. The production team gladly accepted, repainting the fresh trucks to match the old ones. On screen, it was seamless. Off screen, fans noticed immediately. Internet forums lit up with debates like, "That's not a 95," or "Check the mirrors." The show never addressed it, but the truth was clear. The hero truck had evolved just like the Ranger himself. A newer engine, a tougher body, and the same silver armor. Silent upgrade, legendary result. Number 5, the multiple walkers. By the late seasons, the question wasn't what walker drove, but which one. There wasn't just one Ram. There were at least 4. The beauty truck was spotless, polished to mirror perfection, used for dialogue and close-ups. The stunt truck was battle-scarred, fitted with a roll cage and reinforced frame. The backup truck was a Frankenstein mix of parts. Headlights from one year, grill from another, used when the others were broken. Some crew members even recalled a 5th truck, an insert rig towed for driving shots. Coordinating them was chaos. Each had to be painted the same silver gray, fitted with identical decals, and ready to film at a moment's notice. Sometimes all 4 trucks were damaged in the same week, forcing mechanics to rebuild overnight. The transportation captain joked, "We spent more time fixing Walker's truck than shooting the show." Ironically, that variety gave the Ram its mythic quality. It never looked exactly the same twice, yet it always felt familiar. Like the Ranger himself, it could take any hit, adapt, and keep rolling. Number 4, the license plate mystery. Every hero has a signature, and for Walker's Ram, it was that humble Texas plate, AU9 and U75. It appeared in every season on every truck, through wrecks, fires, and explosions. The twist, only one of those plates was real. Legally, you can't have multiple vehicles with the same number, so the crew literally swapped the real plate between trucks while filming. Behind the scenes, a production assistant was in charge of the plate relay. Whenever a new truck went on set, he'd sprint across the lot carrying AU9 075 and bolt it on before cameras rolled. It sounds ridiculous, but it was the only way to stay within state law. There's even behind-the-scenes footage of the crew laughing as they shuffle the plate like a golden ticket. After the show ended, the famous plate vanished. CBS didn't have it. Chuck Norris didn't have it. The prop department didn't have it. Fans searched for years, but it never resurfaced. Some claim it's hanging in a collector's garage in Dallas, the real badge of Texas justice, lost to time but never forgotten. Number 3, the official spec sheet. For those who love the details, here's the official breakdown of Walker's machine. 1995 Dodge Ram 1500 Club Cab, SLT 404. Brilliant silver metallic over slate gray two-tone paint. Chrome bumpers, chrome grille. Factory 15-inch alloy wheels. Powered by the 5.9L Magnum V8, paired with a 46RH 4-speed automatic transmission and the NP231 part-time 4WD transfer case. Inside, the SLT trim gave Walker cloth seats, power windows, and cruise control. Not luxury, but comfort with grit. The roll bar was aftermarket, likely from Go Rhino black powder-coated steel. The push bar was a ranch hand model, and those iconic roof lights, KC daylighters, the illegal 100-watt version, because, of course, Walker broke every rule, even lighting regulations. Dealers across Texas built tribute trucks matching those specs, sometimes charging thousands extra. Fans lined up to order the Ranger setup. For many, owning that configuration wasn't just about style, it was a way to carry a piece of Walker's spirit on their own roads. Number 2, the birth of a legend. By the late 1990s, Dodge had a problem. Ford and Chevy owned America's truck market. Then came Walker Texas Ranger. Week after week, millions watched a silver Ram leap through fire and deliver justice. It wasn't just product placement, it was free advertising in prime time. The effect was measurable. Between 1994 and 1997, Dodge's market share skyrocketed, and dealerships couldn't keep up with demand. Salesmen said customers would walk in and simply ask, "Do you have Walker's truck?" No model number, no specs, just Walker's truck. Dodge executives privately called it the Norris effect. That silver and gray Ram became a national symbol, not of horsepower or payload, but of toughness, morality, and Texas grit. It made ordinary people believe their pickup could be part of something heroic. Long before brand storytelling was a marketing term, Walker and his Ram had already written the book. Number 1. Before the Ram, there was a GMC. The biggest secret of all, Walker didn't start with a Dodge. In the pilot season, he drove a GMC Sierra K1500, burgundy over silver, a completely different truck from a rival brand. General Motors had the first product placement deal, but it didn't last. By season 2, Dodge swooped in with its newly redesigned Ram, and everything changed. The bold grille, the powerful stance, it fit Walker's image perfectly. The switch was seamless on screen, but monumental behind the scenes. GM reportedly pulled out because they didn't like seeing their trucks crash, jump, and explode on TV. Dodge, on the other hand, wanted that. They wanted destruction, danger, and dominance, and they got it. Ironically, Chuck Norris later admitted he actually preferred the GMC for comfort. It rode smoother, he said, but the Ram looked tougher. 8 years. Hundreds of stunts, and countless rebuilds later, that toughness defined both man and machine. Walker might have started in a GMC, but he became immortal in a Dodge. Before we reveal the final secret of Walker's legendary truck, take a moment. If you've enjoyed this journey through Texas grit and television magic, hit subscribe and let us know which fact blew your mind the most. Now back to the story. Walker's Ram wasn't just a prop or even a product of clever branding. It was a character, one forged in steel, dust, and stubbornness. It crashed through barns, jumped rivers, and defied physics, yet somehow always rolled back into the next scene spotless. It embodied the show's unspoken promise that good men and good machines could survive anything. Over 8 seasons, the Ram became as iconic as Walker's hat or his roundhouse kick. It wasn't the fastest truck, it wasn't the strongest, but it was the one that kept showing up, no matter how many times it fell, burned, or broke. Today, decades later, you can still spot silver and gray Rams rolling through small-town America, wearing that same quiet confidence. To the fans, they aren't just old trucks. They're living echoes of Saturday nights, VHS tapes, and a time when heroes drove with purpose. And if you ever see a 1995 Dodge Ram with the plate AU9075, take a picture, because somewhere out there, under that Texas sky, Walker's truck might still be watching.